I'll go with it for today. Let's see.
We are live.
It's not letting us go live on Facebook.
No,
What's going on? Yeah, it says it was deleted, which it wasn't, but
really?
yeah. Let me see. Edit. Cancel. Post was created. No, it says everything's on here. Weird. Let's see if anybody hops on from Facebook. Okay, we got somebody just hopped on. Are you coming live from Facebook, the group, or from the reality practice page? I can't tell. Looks like it's live
Reality
on the
practice.
private group and live on the reality practice page, but not on the
Facebook. Oh,
main page, which I don't know why. I'm going to remove it
can you share it
and see
to?
if I can go back. Here we go. Save changes.
Change this. I want to cover the wine bottles. They're still
Okay.
there, but
Now it looks like it's on. So let me double check.
hey,
Welcome people who are already joining us here. We'll let
so
everybody
excited.
hop on and we'll get the show started today. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be an awesome show, by the way. Okay. Yeah, we are live now. So we are good to go here. All right. Let me share it on your page, Liliana.
We are live, and we are so happy to be here with everyone. We should have music for reality practice when we entrance, because my father said your voice is deep, but it's good for the microphone. And Brian said that to me. He said I've got a good voice for the microphone. I was like, wow, that's a huge compliment because I'm deep, baby. I've got such a deep male voice that scares anyone. And people, when I'm on the phone, they just match my face. They're like, what? uh,
It's you're like a ancient mystic. You sound like an ancient mystic from a faraway land, at least from us over here in the US.
I
So
love
all your
it.
wisdom, it comes through even more because of your voice. So I love it. But
Oh,
let's get
thank
the show started today. Welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Reality Practice Live with Liliana and Joey, where we'll be answering your questions. Typically, that's what we would do. But Liliana is having an amazing holiday vacation with her family this week for the past couple weeks. So she's just joining in today to kind of listen and watch along. I've kind of put together an entire show that I was just going to produce myself. And I really wanted to go over and discuss the aspects of how important it is for us in our journey of manifesting, of creating our reality, how important it is that we utilize the visions we have, the things we're shown to us about what needs to happen, the next steps, how we have to take action on those as we consciously create our reality. We see things, we imagine things in our mind, and most people just allow those visions, the imagination to come and go, and they just play it off as if, oh, that's just my imagination. But what they don't realize is how powerful our
you.
imagination is and that it's controlling everything. And when we learn to harness the power of our imagination, when we learn to start envisioning, having visions necessarily of the future, of the reality we desire, we can then learn how to take action. Action is such an important aspect. And that's really what I want to share today about this process, is how taking action on a vision is key to creating anything you desire and anything you dream of in your life. You want to create the most amazing reality possible. It's all coming from right in here. It's all coming from your thoughts. And once we begin to turn those old third density programming thoughts of fear, anxiety, stress, hatred, greed, all of these things we've been programmed with our entire lives. Once we can start to shut those down and become aware of them, we can then start to lead and to guide our imagination and guide our vision through our through the love, through the Christ conscious within us, the connection with spirit. So I want to kind of break it down a little bit, where we're at, how we got to this point, and what's happening at this exact moment in our evolution. And from there, I want to share my own personal journey. I want to share some stories of what I've created and how I've created it over the course of the past 2-3 years. And I want to, at the end of the show, I'm going to share some awesome, exciting news with you. Liliana's a part of it, and we're going to be releasing and launching the Reality Practice Network on May 2nd. You guys do not want to miss out on this. I'm going to give you more information about that, but that's not even the biggest announcement. The biggest announcement will come at the very end of the show today, and I'm going to reveal what's been being shown to me over the past couple weeks, month or so, but I really got single-minded clarity today. It all came through during a couple downloads I had this morning, which has been an amazing morning, by the way. So much energy is coming in, and I just allowed it to come in and was blowing my mind. Well, nothing blows my mind much anymore, but it felt so good. I wrote it all down. I journaled, which is an important aspect of this process. We need to remember the things we're shown. We need to remember the things we imagine so that we can circle back to them and take the action on them. So at the end of the show, I'm going to announce something so huge and so awesome that's coming to the Reality Practice Network at the end of June. So stay tuned for the end. Liliana, you're going to be a part of it, as will many others. So hang tight, and kind of my journey and my story today that I'll share with you will build up, and you'll see how I put the puzzle pieces together to create this reality and to create this announcement that's coming and everything that's happened prior to that. So without further ado, I'll get started on it. And, some fundamental things we have to understand, and that I've learned along the way, is there is nothing to fear. Fear is only something we've been programmed with in our mind. This idea of death, this idea of suffering, of failure. It's all been programmed into us, and the truth of who and what we are has been stolen. It's been hidden from us for so long. What's happening on a universal scale. Let's start there. What's happening on a universal scale is the universe and Earth, our solar system, we are traveling at millions of miles per hour through the universe on a big circle, the Milky Way, everything. And what we've been entering into for the past 10 years or so, since 2012, is we're coming into that age of Aquarius. We're actually in it now, but we're coming into a portion of the universe that we have been in many, many, many times before in lower densities. What's happening at this point in time is we are moving into this section of the universe. And inside this portion of the universe, which is expansive beyond our imagination, it's going to take us hundreds and hundreds of years to travel through this stretch. But what's happening is these energies, new frequencies, are bombarding our body every second of every day, and they're transforming us. They're preparing us for this new entry into what is known as the fifth dimension, which is where we are currently in. We're just awakening to it. And as we're awakening to it, hey, Jesse, sorry, says it won't allow you to share it. Yeah, you're watching in the private group, Jesse. If you go over to the Reality Practice page, you can actually watch the live version there as well, and you can share that version. I'd love it. I'd appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in, brother.
Thank you.
You're doing some great work up there
Love
in
you.
Canada, exposing the truth. I'm happy to have you here, both
Love
Liliana
you.
and me. So thanks for joining today. Anyways, as we're moving into this new dimension, where also our bodies are being prepared by these energies to enter into this new density. We've been in a third density for thousands of years of our evolution. And now we are progressing into the fourth density, which many of you know as light, love, the healing frequencies that are coming to us. So what we have to do as we're moving into this is an important aspect we all have to remember, is this takes time. This takes a long, long time. So for all of us wanting to make this happen sooner or quicker, we have to embrace it and realize that it's going to happen on its time, not our time. And we are moving into this, and it's happening faster and faster and faster. The knowledge is coming to us exponentially each and every day. As each person awakens, we're creating this new reality together. We're starting to learn how to vibrate at a frequency of love and at a frequency of joy and happiness as we begin to eliminate that fear that I mentioned that we've always lived by, in this three-dimensional third density world. We have to eliminate the past, the fear, the anger, the greed, and have to start acting out of love, joy, and consciously create our reality. We've been creating our reality subconsciously for as long as we can remember. But what we are doing now is we're learning the abilities to consciously create our reality. So with that being said, I'd love to share my journey of awakening and how I've understood this and now realize what is happening to us, and share my journey of how I consciously am now and have been creating this reality that we're living in and that you're watching right here on the show. So without further delay, I'll go on and get to my actual story. For those that don't know me, I was never raised spiritual necessarily. I wasn't raised in a religion. So, but I always knew that there was something more, since I was a little kid, 7, 8, 9 years old. I'd watch on TV everything I could find about aliens, about science, about history. It's like I just had this overwhelming urge to need to know more. So I was doing that all of my life. I didn't realize it, and just absorbing this in, and these new ideas, these new concepts that we're evolving into, this new understanding of our reality. I've been doing it all my life and didn't understand or know what I was doing, as many of us, I'm sure, have been doing. So my real explosion came to me at the last week of February 2020. We all know 2020 changed all of our lives, and none of the current issues, none of the pandemic, none of that had happened quite yet, so this was just prior to it. And at the end of February 2020, I'd been doing a ton of work. I've been watching Brian Scott's shows. I've been reading every book I could get my hands on. I think in 2019 and 2018, I think I read about 100 books during that time period. And it was just a time of really understanding, trying to learn more, right? So I'm moving along. I feel like I'm evolving at such a great pace, and I'm doing all the right things. I'm meditating every day. I'm being grateful, giving thanks to the divine creation. So as I'm moving along in this journey, the end of February comes up, 2019, and my wife, April, and me, we're facing a grim reality that we're basically screwed. At that point in time, I was a door-to-door salesman, and I was selling solar. And here in Kansas City, February is winter time. So it's snow on the ground. It's freezing. I can't go out and work. So I'm kind of on a pause from making money at that point in time. My wife's business, it just came off of her busy season. So we're in a real lull January, February for that. So we've literally got no income coming in at the moment. And we're down to our last $300 to our name, with $3,000 worth of bills due just the next week at the 1st of March. So like, that's not stressful enough. Like, we're not freaking out enough. My wife's freaking out, nagging me, as any wife would do, and I'm not really sure what to do. I just know my practice, my meditation, my belief has taught me, keep pushing forward, keep moving, things will fall into place. So as I did this, that last week of February, I tell myself, I'm going to go out this morning because it's a beautiful morning. We don't get many of them in February, and it was gorgeous out. So I said, I'm going to go on my first run of the year because I wanted to prepare for a triathlon that summer. So I take my dog out. We go on a jog around the block, and I misstep and I blow my knee out. My right knee, which has always been my good knee, I blew it out. And I knew what had happened because I'd blown my knee out 3 times before, 3 different surgeries in my younger life. And I knew what had happened. And that next morning, I woke up in so much pain. I couldn't put weight on it. I have to basically hop to the couch, where I fall down on the couch in just despair At this point, I am at rock bottom. No way to earn money. I just blew my knee out. How am I going to provide for my family? And I got angry. I got really angry at God because
Yeah.
I'd been doing everything right. And I yelled out. I broke down into tears. I didn't understand what was happening and why it was happening. I'd been trained to believe that everything's happening for a reason. But why? What is happening now? What point does this serve? What purpose? And I was pissed. So I yelled out in such anger and rage because I didn't understand. And it was at that moment that I heard a voice tell me, go within, calm down, meditate. So I did. I gathered myself, I did my morning meditation, and it was unlike any meditation I'd ever had prior to that, because what was revealed was what I call the first vision I truly ever had. And this vision was truly amazing, mind blowing. And what it revealed to me in the 10, 15 minutes that I was meditating on it, it revealed to me, one, that there was nothing to fear and that I was going to be okay, that I
Okay.
was protected, that it was
Yeah.
all in my mind, that I'm connected to God. I'm protected by God, right? By universal spirit. So I go deeper within that. And the things that were revealed to me was everything was going to be all right. Don't be worried about this money. The money will find its way to you when it needs to. I was also shown my wife's business and that it would take a transformation. It would turn into something entirely new that she wasn't doing at the moment. I didn't understand it, but I was shown it. And I couldn't really explain it to her other than she just needed to believe and trust in what I'm saying because I had seen the end. I had seen where she was going and what was to come. And it gave me such peace, gave me such of a comfort at that moment in time. And then I was also, after that, I was also shown the beginning kind of glimpses of my purpose, of my mission, of what I'm here to achieve, and exactly why my knee blew out at the time it did, and exactly why everything was happening against what I thought should be happening. And it just told me, the voice inside said, let go. Let go and have faith. Let go and believe and trust in your true power to create this reality. That you're not here to create pain and suffering for yourself. You're here to create enjoyment, fulfillment, love. You're here to inspire people. So I didn't really know what that meant, but
You let
it
have to
felt
let go of all your ego,
really
right?
good. I knew it meant to let go, but in terms of I'm here to inspire, I'm here to help people, I'm here to share, this journey with people. So
Mhm.
that's a key fundamental aspect that I want to talk about today. I was shown certain aspects of what was to come. However, I wasn't given all the pieces. I was given a small little glimpse of what will happen should I stay on that same path. So I had to just let go. And I had to have full belief and faith in what was to come. But I didn't realize, how it would be revealed. A lot of us, myself included, we get so caught up in the how
Yeah.
of getting to where we want to be, but we
Yeah.
forget that we don't
The bigger
need to
picture.
know the how. We don't need to know anything about how we get to the end. We simply need to take action, move forward with the information we have and the feeling and the desire that we've created, whatever vision we've been shown. Know that it can and will happen because it already has happened. We're just trying to align ourselves to that frequency and hop on that wave and ride it. So I let go. And the things that started happening for me were truly amazing. Let me see. I've got it all outlined here. So I'll kind of
You
discuss
might be
there.
might be shocked that I'm not speaking, everyone, but this is today's is about Joey and his awakening.
Right. Yes. Liliana is just joining us here for support today. She's enjoying an
Yeah,
amazing vacation holiday with her family. So
I'm loving
I
it.
didn't want her to have to
Sun.
do anything today, but join in. So What was shown to me over the remaining spring into summer of 2020 was I saw this money coming in. I saw a new product for my wife that she in turn created just a few short weeks later, which ended up going viral and becoming a sensation for Mother's Day, like one of the top Mother's Day gifts in 2020. And it just exploded for her. Something that I had seen, vividly seen. I just didn't understand what it was or how it happened or would happen. But the pieces filled themselves in. We have to remember this is a giant, we get shown the giant puzzle piece. That's the vision. But all those little puzzle pieces have to fit into place in order to see the picture clearly. So that's where the idea of faith and belief comes in, knowing that the puzzle's completed, but we've only got this big chunk here, but we can't make out what it is yet. And those pieces will start to fill in. And that's exactly what happened to me over the course of the last couple years since that first vision. I manifested into my life one of the most amazing coaches on earth and works closely with Tony Robbins, some other very high level influencers in our industry. And he just so happened to be available and lived here in Kansas City. And the rest is history. I spent a year and a half tutoring underneath him and learning all I could from him, because that's exactly what I needed at that exact moment in my evolution. I had so many unanswered questions, and he arrived to work with me. And the best part of all, he did it all for free. He gave his time and everything to me. We were in lockdown. He had nothing else to do, and virtual wasn't a huge thing at that moment. So he dove into my business and me and my wife's business and our development. And he took us to a whole nother evolution. He became such good friends with us, as on this journey. And he was there more out of duty, obligation. I realized that I created him in my mind because that's what I needed. That's the guide I needed at that moment in time. And that's another aspect of it. We all are going to have guides that come into our lives as we go through this awakening. It is a fundamental aspect of this journey we're on. We can't do it alone. Once we reach a certain point, we absolutely can do it alone, but we won't want to. We want to share it with the world, and we'll want to bring people in that resonate to our community and to help grow. But we all have to start with a spark, and that spark starts by finding that mentor or that teacher, that guide that can help you. And mine was, I can't even explain how powerful he was for me. So whether myself, Liliana, or anybody else, find the person that resonates with you and just start learning, start discovering more. So I won't go on any more about that, but it is a fundamental aspect of this journey we're on. So with that being said, continue moving through 2020. By the way, all the bills got paid on time. Money would just appear. $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 would just appear from out of nowhere when we were at our worst, lowest moment, when we were broke, to the point where money appeared. My wife and I together, we've generated, I think, almost $400,000 in the last couple years. Poof, from out of nowhere. Circumstances happened. Things fell into place when we were down to the last week, last couple days where we were broke, and the next month came around. It's like, oh my God, my old thinking would have said, what are we going to do? I'm freaking out. I've got to take action, and I would act out of emotion versus belief and faith versus intuition. And what happened was when I removed that fear, that third density control, the money would show up in truly unexpected ways. I can go more into detail about that on other shows, but just know that it showed up each and every time when it was needed. Not a moment too soon, but not a moment too late. It appeared when it was needed. And that's really how my journey has worked itself out. And that's really how my awakening and my discovering has worked itself out. I only am given at times what I need to know, that one little next step. And it's more of that's our challenge, I think, to ourselves, is we have to understand that we can't ever be given too much. We're only going to be given exactly what we need at that moment in
Yeah,
time. And once
exactly.
we act on that, then it allows the next thing to be revealed. So, summer of 2020, August, is my next true vision. And that vision, it reveals to me more of my purpose, more of what I am meant to do down the road. And that it showed me, it revealed to me, I'm on stage, I'm in front of thousands of people, and I'm speaking to them and I'm inspiring them. Believe me, I don't know what this meant at the time. I just felt it. I saw it and I was there. I was talking to people backstage. So I'm seeing this glimpse of something really awesome that's coming, but I don't know what it means and I don't know how it all plays out. I just felt it. I saw it. I believed it. And I knew that this was the future. So I just keep trucking away and I keep putting one foot in front of the other, continuing to learn, continuing to read. I think I read 200 books, just shot 196 books in 2020.
Wow.
So I really elevated my education, my learning process, and took it to a whole nother level at that point in time. And it wasn't until the fall of 2020 that the next vision came to me. And it showed an even more in-depth kind of, I was at 30,000 foot view. Then it took it down to 20,000. And at this point, it's showing me that I must heal. I must heal myself first. And it revealed to me the power of music. And it revealed to me the power of music to go in and rewrite our past, to heal. It took me months and months of certain sequences of songs that were just divinely given to me in certain random orders, that when I put them together, they would literally transform my whole body into another state of being, that state of love. And there was a lot of tears. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of dark night of the soul that I was going through at this point in time. And that all culminated. During that process, I was also given a download. I get many of those, from time to time, as we all probably do. And in this download, it was given to me a 5-year plan. And it said, year 1 is discovering your voice. And that happened in 2021. And I'll kind of outline that for you. But it gave me this 5-year plan of how I was going to reach the goal, the end vision that I was shown in August. It outlined this 5-year simple plan that I just had to execute on. I still didn't know any of how it was going to be done. I just knew focus on step 1, which was year 1. And that was discover my voice. 2021 rolls around. And that was where I created Reality Practice. And that was revealed to me. That's the year I would start revealing myself to the world. I would start sharing my ideas and my awakening with the world. And then this year, of course, is 2022. And that was really, it said year 3 would be the launch of going out to the world, of sharing this vision and showing people who I was and what I bring and how I can inspire the world, right? So it's showing me on stages, bigger and bigger stages throughout year 3. And by year 4 and year 5, it's revealing my true mission, which is to become the #1 speaker in the world on reality creation, on teaching people how to do this. And that's still a couple years down the road, but it outlined year 1 through 5 for me. And it made it so simple. It just told me, take action, begin the journey, focus here for year 1. So what did I do? Moving into 2021, which is year 1, in December of 2020, I go out and I rewrote my biological DNA. I did all this healing. I did all this dark night of the soul healing prior to that, all fall and winter of December 2020. And it came down to this event I attended. And I won't get into details on that. You can watch other videos about that. But the point is, I rewrote my biological DNA. I changed my life forever at this event. And now I get to share that with the world and exactly how I did it. And these are all part of this process of I didn't put too much pressure on myself. I
Yeah.
just kept moving forward and taking action on the visions, on the imagination that I'm able to see as I've been given this throughout the past couple years. So let's see. Um, Next,
You let go all the egos, didn't you? You had to let go all the egos.
yes, I had to let
Everything.
go of everything. I had to forgive
Yeah.
everybody involved. I had to show compassion for everyone,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
mostly I had to that healing process I went on, it allowed me to forgive myself and to
Yeah.
have compassion for myself for the false beliefs I'd believed all my life. These things I
Mhm.
thought were real were actually just made up in my mind. And that was the
That's right.
breakthrough. That was the moment I was able to begin the journey of consciously creating my reality. So, what I did moving forward from there was the beginning of 2021 or all of 2021. Year one was to discover my voice. So, I spent the first half of 2021 last spring, a year ago, kind of reinventing myself. I reinvented my diet, new routines, better health choices, cleanses. I took more, I started to focus more on what my purpose was and how I can share that with the world. And that all came about last August. It told me now's the time to launch the reality practice, my page. So I do that and I start to speak and start to share my journey with the world. And I end up getting on a stage out in California, the Tag Talk stage, where it was my first time to ever share my story, to tell tell the transformation I experienced in rewriting my DNA. And therefore, that whole entire year of 2021, like I said, was the culmination of me discovering my voice, really honing in and locking in on what story do I want to tell, who do I want to become, and what do I need to do to get there. So I'm taking the steps, I'm moving forward along the path here. And that brings us now to 2022. And 2022 has just been a complete and total whirlwind at this point in time. Things are happening and moving so fast for me now, and I'm consciously creating the reality I truly desire, and I'm doing it out of love. Nothing anymore gets me triggered the way it used to. I shouldn't say nothing, but very
But
few things get me triggered the way they used to. As I'm evolving into this journey, as I'm evolving along this journey, this path, and what has come about, my next vision, I guess, was this year, just a couple months ago. And that vision is what I'll discuss with you now and kind of share more in detail as this idea that came together, which is now known as the Reality Practice Network, which Liliana is a part of. And I'm so happy.
so
I'm
grateful.
grateful to have her and so many
I've seen
people
that.
on board.
I had this vision with you, didn't I, Joey? I really had this vision when we connected. That's something that people that watch and need to understand. When you connect to this level of frequency, you kind of attract your tribe, and your tribe becomes your vibe. And Joey and I, we connected 2 years ago. For some reason, there's no coincidence we're working together. He's got the technical skills. I've got a great audience as well. And together, we are changing the world one soul at a time. And I know for sure what Joe is doing was part of my telepathic dream for him, for his group, which I become part of, and I'm proud to share everywhere. It's like it's not mine. It's I work at it as my own because there is some skills that I don't have, but there are others, which is the other part of it that is needed. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much because we have half what is needed to become a success, and I truly believe in that. And I'm doing this with all my passion as well for you and for all of us, for the collective as well. Thank you.
I appreciate it more than you know. And yes, I'm glad you said that because Liliana was one of the souls I've been honored to be able to meet along my journey here. When I started the reality practice page, it opened up this door to all these new guides, these new friends that I've made along the way that are helping humanity, helping awaken this truth within everybody. And because I took the actions and the steps necessary to create the page, to start doing the podcast, to start doing blogs, it opened the door to this new reality and these new opportunities. That's all they are, is opportunities. We can choose to go left. We can choose to go right. We're always faced with opportunities. You have to ask yourself, is the opportunity that's in front of you, which way do you need to go in order to stay on the path of your destiny, of living in the light, in the joy, in the love, versus do you take a left and you go back down that pathway of fear, of greed, of anger? So it's really it's the awareness of where to move next. We're not given the roadmap necessarily. We're given signs, we're given clues of which way to go. But as I mentioned earlier, this energy that's bombarding us, that's coming into us now, it's literally forcing us now to choose the path of love, to choose the fourth density aspect of us, and to remove that third density negative programming and patterns that we've grown accustomed to living in. So, yes, all of that, meeting Liliana, meeting all these other amazing guides along this journey, gave me this inspiration. I sat on a phone call with my good friend Devin Walker, who he's going to be part of the network. We talked a few months ago, and he was the one, when we discussed this, it exploded in my mind. And this idea, this concept of creating a network for everyone. And what it is the Reality Practice Network. It's a collection of guides and healers, and and teachers, and we're here to inspire the world. And I've collected the first set of 12 guides and compiled them into brand new shows and brand new ideas that they're going to reveal with the world. And I tell people, imagine the Gaia Network meets Beachbody on Demand. That's what I'm building. That's what is launching here on May 2nd, meaning it's going to talk about all aspects of our awakening, from the science-based quantum realm to the spiritual-based metaphysical aspect of it. And then it's going to incorporate everything in between. We're going to have shows that dive into health and wellness, how to eat right, how to heal your body with natural remedies, how to get your mind in the right place where it needs to be. I'll reveal some of the hosts and some of the shows that will be coming to the network on May 2nd. And I'm just super excited. I can't tell you how excited I am to bring this to reality, because it's part of the vision I was given, but I didn't know what it was. I had to allow those little pieces to come into play so that I could put them together in the puzzle. And it wouldn't have happened had I continued to push, had I continued to ask myself, what's next? Why? There were times when I would lose my connection to source. At least I felt like it. I'd have amazing visions, amazing downloads, and just be in such an enlightened state. And that would happen, over the past couple years, for a few weeks, a couple days, whatever. And then all of a sudden it would leave. It would go away. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Did I break it? Did I lose my connection? Like, what, get me crystals. What's the essential oils I need? And I found myself pushing against it because I thought, well, something's wrong. What am I doing differently? And what I've discovered, it was nothing I was doing wrong or different. It was just the time. We don't get to control the timing of this. We are all awakening at our moment that we need to awaken. And the parts of this journey will be revealed to us when we heal and when we resolve the lessons that are still there to be resolved and healed from. So I always kept going back and reminding myself of that. And the second I let go again and just remembered that everything is happening exactly how it needs to, the next will be revealed when it has to be revealed. And that's kind of how my journey has happened. Once I let go again, boom, a whole new download would come in, a whole new piece of the puzzle would be revealed. So, with that being said, I could keep going on and on about it, but I really want to talk about the Reality Practice Network for a few minutes. And then I want to get to the big announcement that we're going to have at the very end here that includes Liliana and everybody else on the network. So, the Reality Practice Network. It's going to be launching. You may have seen some of the videos coming out now. Each day between now and May 2nd, there's going to be 2 videos coming out every day, 2 new promotional videos coming out, introducing you to the guides that will be on the network, sharing their wisdom, sharing their journey and their experience with you. The first guest or the first guide and first show that's going to be on there is Sean French. And he's going to have a show called Master Your Mind. Super amazing individual. His story in and of itself is remarkable. But excuse me. But he's going to bring the show Master Your Mind to life. And he's going to be interviewing guests and sharing his own wisdom about how to take control of your mind and how to utilize the proper mindset in order to free yourself from those negative thoughts, from the negative third density bullshit that we've been living in, to consciously creating. And it starts with the power of our mind. So Sean's going to talk about and discuss mastering your mind. Next, you're going to have our very own Liliana. Her show is going to be called Awaken Your Soul. And she is going to dive deep into her own spiritual awakening, this journey she's been on, this beautiful journey. It's had so many ups and downs. She's been so confused at times. Then she's gotten so much enlightenment at other times. And I know she's going to bring so much to the table for everyone out there who's just awakening, that's just realizing something isn't right. What's going on? And I think the insight that you'll be able to bring is going to be mind-blowing and really help people transition into this new reality of what is happening to us and where we're headed. So super vital. We're still going to have our Reality Practice live show. I'll still be having my Reality Practice, the podcast, which, by the way, Brian Scott will be on. That episode premieres tomorrow. So all you guys, Reality Revolutioners, it's going to be an amazing show. We discuss how to escape the matrix that we're living in. And he breaks it down and really goes deep into all of that. So I do not miss that show. That actually premieres tomorrow. You don't have to wait till May 2nd, the week of.
Did you manage to put me at the end, right?
What's that?
Did you manage to put me at the end a little bit of the end?
Put you at the end?
Yeah, did you manage to put that in the podcast at the end?
Oh, yeah. Liliana jumped on for the last 15 minutes and gets to talk with Brian as well. So stay tuned to the end of that, and you'll get to see questions and her hopping on and interviewing Brian along with me. So
thank you.
You got it. I appreciated you coming on. Let's see. The next show is going to be called Intuitive Reality with Riley June. Riley is an amazing energetic healer. And what she's going to share with people are the tangible, steps that we need to take on the metaphysical and energetic level in order to really begin to heal ourselves, to go back in and to heal that part of us that must be fixed, must be healed. Shouldn't say fixed. Nothing's wrong with us. We just need to the sadness. We need to heal from the matrix, from the illusion that we've all been in. So Riley's going to go deep into that for you. Carrie Cudmore is going to be on. She's going to have a show called Curious Wisdom. Carrie is a badass. She teaches about badass entrepreneurialism, but her main focus is on financial spirituality and the whole idea of manifesting money, creating money. This is what she teaches. She also teaches people how to walk on fire and how to walk on glass and how to shift your mind into a whole nother state of being in order to do things that our
Amazing.
bodies, that we've been told our bodies can't do. And
Can't.
Carrie is able to teach that for people. And we're definitely going to have more to do with her as we move forward. So I'm excited. That's
Wow.
part of
I'm
where we're headed
excited.
with the network. Uh, we're going to have Devin Walker, my good friend out in Vegas, Devin Walker. Uh, he's he's been a Buddhist for many years now, and he
Wow.
talks on stages and teaches people around the world about how to bring Buddhism, the idea and the lifestyle of Buddhism, how to share that with the world and how to live that consciously. Because a lot of the principles that Buddhism brings to the table are that light and that love and that idea that we're all one and we're here to create together. And Devin's going to go deep into what it means to live consciously in that state of being Buddha. We're going to have Marty Spence coming on. Marty has a show called Real Health right now. She's down in Wichita, Kansas, and she owns a juicery, Songbird Juicery. And she's going to come on and also have special guests that will be there as well, that she'll bring on and back up what she's revealing. And she's going to reveal about all aspects of healthy living, healthy lifestyles, healthy foods. What can we
Love it.
eat to heal our bodies? She's got an amazing story of what she was able to do with her mom, taking her from dementia and Alzheimer's basically, and living in an assisted living home. And she transformed through her natural remedies. Her mom's now cognizant. Her mom's now living on her own again. Her mom healed
Wow.
her brain by using these natural remedies. So she's going to bring so much to the table there for everybody. We're also going to have our good friend of the show, Ricky Goodall. He is going to come on and be
Amazing.
providing his show, The Pilgrimage, in sharing
So good.
kind of that shamanic uh, old wisdom that it
So
needs to
good.
be revealed to the world, that old wisdom of how powerful we truly are, what's been hidden from the world. And Ricky's going to come on and he's going to discuss and show each of us how to do this within our own lives. We're going to have Ria Mestiza. She's over at Australia, the number one health and fitness, recognized as the number one health and fitness person in all of Australia in 2021. She's going to have a show, and her show will be called Soul Path to Self Mastery. And she's going to discuss all different aspects of how we become masters of our own selves. And a lot of that, most of that, is mastering our own mind. Self mastery is the ability to no longer be triggered by the outside world, to allow our love, to allow our intuition to guide us. So we're going to have her
Mhm.
coming on, and an
Wow.
amazing show, amazing host. We're going to have Owen Hunt. For those of you that don't know Owen Hunt, he's a professional comedian. He's been involved with some pretty amazing shows on Netflix. He's coming on and he's going to have his own show called Blue Collar Mystic. I love Owen because he really dives deep into the
Is it?
quantum realm. He
Mm.
teaches
Love it.
people who are at that understanding level of the quantum realm and how this all works. He takes people on a deep dive into the quantum realm, and he does it from a blue collar mindset. He's a good old boy from Georgia. So he's going to come on and he's going to talk to the audience. He's going to share his wisdom and what he's learned along the way. He's the hillbilly I don't know if that's what he'd call himself, but the idea is his show's blue collar mystic, because you don't have to be some extravagant. You don't have to be, anybody.
Okay.
You can be anyone and anything. You can be a farmer. We all have this ability, and I think he teaches that and brings that out in his show. We've got a couple other shows we're still in discussions on, finalizing the details. I'm hoping to bring Brooke Runnebaum onto the show, and she's going to teach about divine feminine and the
Oh
aspects of
wow.
feminine and masculine, and how we
Lovely.
can harness that power to help us create this reality we desire. And we each have that half and half. We're each half divine feminine. We're each half divine masculine. It's understanding how to coordinate, how to
It's a
operate
balance.
both at the same time. How do you do your left side brain, your logical brain versus your right side emotional brain? How to connect those two together to consciously create reality. And then I'm still in discussions, negotiations with a good friend, Noelle Agape. She has her own show, The
Oh
Soul
yeah.
on Fire podcast, and we're discussing what she can bring out to the table. She's a quantum healer. It would just be truly amazing to have her on the show. NLP, mindset, reprogramming. She would be amazing. We're still trying to get that finished up, but if we can bring her on, that will create what I call the 12 disciples of the Reality Network. That will be the premiering
Super,
cast
super.
and lineup for the Reality Practice Network. Like I said, that's going to it's going to premiere starting May 2nd. There'll be 2 shows a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, of a new personality. So I suggest the vision here is everybody goes on and they find the personality, they find the guide that most resonates with them, and start learning from them. Start dipping your toes in the water. Maybe you're in an advanced level, hop straight to some of the higher level shows that are there. But some of us, many of us, are just at the beginning level, beginning
It's
phases
right
of
at the
this
beginning.
awakening. So shows like Liliana's will make such a huge impact in your life, and it'll kind of guide you and steer you to what the next step is. So the idea and the point of the network will be a common gathering place for all of us going through this great ascension, is what I call it. Everyone going through this ascension process, we need our guides. We need people to hold our hand until we're ready to no longer need the hand held, till we're confident enough in our ability to create consciously and no longer allow the subconscious mind and the fears of third density to come into our reality. When we start to create consciously, we start to create everything from love and harmonize with that frequency, just like I've been doing in along my journey, finding the frequency and staying in it. So that brings me to my final announcement of the day, and then maybe we'll have time for a couple questions or something here before we close up. But my final announcement is what I was shown today. And as I said, I've been shown for the past month or so on it, but it really became crystal clear today. And I was actually there during my meditation. I was at this event, and what is coming out and what will be premiering for the world at the end of June. That's the tentative date for it, but we will be launching the first ever Reality Practice Network Reality Creation Summit. It's going to be a live virtual event, thinking of
Ah!
probably an entire day, 10-hour type event from start to finish. And everybody can join in. It's going to incorporate many, if not all, of the hosts from the Reality Practice Network, all of the guides, and they're going to be helping. Each of them will teach their own aspects of how they create their reality. They're going to share their journey with you, and they're going to give you tangible, actionable items that you can take and implement literally instantly into your daily lives and start creating the reality you desire. We're also going to have guided meditations. If any of you guys have ever gone to a Tony Robbins event, imagine Tony Robbins events one day on steroids, and we're just going to come together. We got to get all the moving pieces together, but we're going to bring this to life, bring this to reality. And that's the vision I was shown this morning. It really became crystal clear as to how this was going to play itself out. Now, like I said, I don't know how necessarily all the steps will add up. I just know I was shown the vision of what's going to happen. Now I have such utter confidence and belief and faith in knowing it's going to happen. Now I just have to allow the frequency to pull me towards it. Instead of pushing, trying to force things to happen, I allow things to come to me. And with that being said, being shown a lot more of the moving parts to this was what came today. And it made me realize how easy and simple this actually will be. And that's what I'm excited to bring to the world, bring to all of you. So for sure, guys, if you are interested, I don't have any registration links, anything up at the moment. Those will be coming out in a couple weeks. But put in the comments, leave in the comments a message if you are interested in attending the first Reality Creation Summit virtually. That'll be held towards the end of June. Put in the comment box there that you're interested in attending, and I will make sure to get out emails and to notify you once the registration opens up for it. I've still got a few things I got to get put together. I've got to confirm and finalize some details of this and make sure I've got everybody on board. But you threw me off, Richard. Stop calling me out. You said there were 13 original disciples and not 12. Now you just screwed the whole thing up, Richard. Now I've got to find another host. Anyway, I love you, Richard. Anyways,
we love you, Richard. We love you.
Reality Practice Creation Summit at the end of June. Leave a message in the box. We will reach back out to you, but there's going to be a lot more information coming out in the coming weeks. But biggest, most important thing, stay tuned and keep an eye out for all of the new episodes premiering, all of the promos coming out for all of the new shows and the lineup that's going to premiere starting May 2nd, only on the Reality Practice Network. I can't do it without all of your support. I couldn't do any of this without you guys, without Liliana, without the team of guides, of leaders that I've brought together. And it wasn't me doing it. This was a collective. This was a vision.
Collective vision.
And I shared it with these people, with these
hosts,
with these guides. And every person I've shared it with has been 100% on board. And I know that's what tells me I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing here, that this is where I'm meant to go in creating this for the world. So I'm so excited to bring this to all of you guys. I'm so excited to have all of you be a part of it. And I can't wait for the first episodes to launch in a little less than 2 weeks. And we're going to change the world together, Liliana. We're going to do our part. And we've discovered our mission and our purpose. And in doing that and fulfilling that, we're going to allow the rest of the world, the rest of humanity, their purpose and to see their mission. What do you think?
We already are changing the world, because I've noticed that I have so many silent watchers that come into me private and say, I'm watching your videos, how amazing is your transformation. Just don't recognize me anymore. People just think I'm living on clouds. And I'm telling you, I am, because I too have many patterns of confusion. I still have a few things that I'm dealing with, but as Joey says, and it's so clear, we creating realities, and I'm living at the moment in parallel realities, creating one big thing in a fourth density, and slowly and literally leaving everything that does not serve me behind, because everybody has their time, and my time is slightly delayed, but not so in this new reality that I create, because I'm here with Joey, something that I envision, and that's what we're doing, and I have so much passion about it, and cooperate with this to be an excellent success to help wake up humanity and the collective.
I love it. I love it. Yes. If you're going to take anything away from today's show, I want you to remember how important taking action on visions is. Recognize, become aware of your visions, of your imagination. If that's, some people don't want to hear the word vision. They think, some kind of like, oh, I had a prophetic vision, whatever you want to call it. When you have when your imagination creates something in your mind, something that you're compelled and pulled towards or want to enjoy or experience, run with it, believe in it, trust in what your imagination, your intuition is telling you and guiding you, and then let go of the how. Nothing's just going to fall into your lap, but what that means is you have to let go of all of the expectations, all of the fear of not knowing how to get there. You just need to allow it to take place, and you need to take action. Whatever the first step is, maybe it's creating a podcast, maybe it's writing a blog, maybe it's journaling,
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
it's meditating and healing and going within to receive more, direction. Whatever it is, you need to take that actionable step. And then once that step is taken, the next step will be revealed, so on and so forth.
Yes.
That's how this process works. If everything was revealed all at once, where's the fun in all of this? And could we even handle knowing everything all at once? And how, we'd be so overwhelmed. So the point is, embrace your visions, embrace your imagination, take one day at a time, one step at a time, but
Yep.
take a step. Take the action to create
Look at
the
me.
reality you choose. Consciously create it. Don't allow third density subconscious programming to guide your life. You are the creator and you are in control of your life. Take back the power. Liliana, you want to take us out?
I'm just gonna say thank you guys and thank you, Joey. I'm so honored, and I have to reveal something to you that through during the moon, this moon, I've been told that your face, my face, is no coincidence that I show into the world because you, my friend, we were a couple in so many lives before. Don't ask me how; it just came to light on this new moon. So there's no coincidence. Nothing happens for no reason, and there we are with all respect, I love your wife, I love your brother, but there's no coincidence. The universe is always working in synchrony, for sure.
I couldn't agree with you more. I actually wrote that down. There are no coincidences. I've been telling myself that for years, but the more my reality plays itself out, I
Yeah,
recognize and understand there are
yeah.
no coincidences. Embrace them,
Nope.
run with them. I love you, Liliana. I love
Love
everybody
you, brother.
tuned in.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
guys so much for being a part of the Reality
Love
Practice
you.
Network. And until next week, stay blessed and remember to always ask yourself, what reality are you choosing to create today? Bye now.
Ciao. Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
for joining, Liliana. Enjoy your
Thank you for
vacation.
having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me. For the first time, I was like,
you're all good. Bye bye.